GM everybody, and welcome to a very bloody Awakened Jake. But as always, we're here, we're up. We're gonna run through this, go through the markets and give our insights and ideas on what's happening, and also kind of like touch on things that we think might be good farms or things that might be hot in the market, and try to find pockets of activity like we always do. Jake, GM, we already covered what you did on the weekend, but how are you other than that?
Yeah, doing all right. Trying to stay alive over here. Um, Definitely some blood across the board, man. We'll get into it here. Uh, in terms of macro stuff, might as well just dive right in.
Go for it. Let's do it.
Yeah, Bitcoin down 1.3% on the week. ETH down 3.5%. Solana down 15%. Just getting smoked. Um, Yeah, I mean, every single alt that I track is down quite a bit across the board here, which is unfortunate. It's kind of just been the story of the last couple months, really, since like the Melania token came out, or last month or so. Um, yeah, it's we saw a good amount of strength at the end of the week on Friday. Got to like 99K or so on Bitcoin. It was looking promising. And then we get the biggest hack in crypto history with North Korea hacking Bybit for $1.5 billion. That was obviously super unfortunate. The market reacted negatively to that. And that was on top of a stock market plummet as well on Friday on the back of some more tariff stuff. I'm not sure exactly what else. Not a macro expert, but there could have been one or two other factors in that. But crypto is also been pretty correlated with how the stock market is looking. John had a take here about how more than ever, really the crypto market is really correlated with stocks, especially given how closely aligned crypto has been with Trump. Um, that it's largely following it to a stronger degree, I would say, than normally. Um, so hopefully we get a bit of a rally today. We saw a dump on open again today, which was unfortunate. A little bit of a pump recently in the last hour or so. Hopefully that maintains. Um, but yeah, man, it's not great. The Bybit hack was an interesting scenario. Zach XBT linked it and confirmed that it was in fact by the Lazarus Group, which is the North Korea's like hacking division, who has hacked several different crypto projects in the past. Um, this is certainly not a good thing because it means that there's really probably no hope of getting the funds returned. Whereas if it was like some other hacker and they wanted 10% to keep for not getting prosecuted and then send the rest back, that'd be obviously much better. But in this case, it's those funds are pretty much lost if it's going to North Korea. There's been talk. It's really hard to follow from what I've seen. It seems like we're not getting a super clear picture yet. Oh, this is a tweet that I linked. Let's see here. But essentially, as far as where we are, I just linked the wrong one again. Sorry. Um, ETH basically fully recovered that hack over the weekend, which was impressive. ETH was showing a ton of strength um, from the price of before the hack, and then it bounced all the way back after falling a couple hundred. And it was looking very strong, and then it collapsed again, like typical ETH. It shows strength, and then that just kind of means doom and gloom for everything. It has seemed that way the entire market. So I guess in general, like my outlook is it's not fun right now. I think everyone knows that. If you zoom out a bit, we have still been in a range as far as Bitcoin goes since the middle of November. So like, what was that? 3 months now or so. We've been in the same range between 90K and 108K. and just been bouncing back and forth. But in that time, alts have just been getting absolutely slaughtered across the board, for the most part. So that's why it just felt like so much pain. Even though people, if they're holding Bitcoin, are honestly doing just fine. But the vast majority of people have a significant part of their portfolio in altcoins, especially the more crypto native among us. I'm sure a lot of us are pretty heavy altcoin usage and feeling the pain because of it, and that's why it's felt so dreary. But I think it is also important to zoom out and look at where Bitcoin is at, because Bitcoin does lead the way. In my opinion, I'm still like, I don't think we've completely topped, as there's several people out there saying it's there's just been so much bullish um things passed, like legislatively, especially in the US since Trump has joined. Less, SEC enforcement crackdown, um less regulations that can free up things that you can do with crypto. That just in general, in my opinion, if you zoom out, it looks pretty good for as far as like an environment for cryptos to succeed. It's certainly gotten a lot better over these last several months, and yet it feels pretty doom and gloom, if you look at the timeline and sentiment of things. So, um, maybe we continue to range it a little bit. Maybe we fall out of this range and go down a bit for a while. But in my opinion, cycle isn't over. I think there's still a lot on the horizon here, even though it feels it certainly doesn't feel good at the moment.
Yeah, the market reacted surprisingly well to that whole hack. I mean, Bybit did a really good job of like their managing of the whole situation was really good. They had a good tone, they were calm and everything, and the way they managed the actual funds also, where they took bridge loans from their partners and told everybody they were not going to buy back ETH, but in the end ended up buying back ETH all weekend to restock their. They bought everything OTC basically, and they did the opposite of what they said on purpose. They didn't want people to front run their price, right? So that was fun to see. But if they would wait one extra day, they'd get an even better price. So yeah, there's that. But I mean, yeah, their managing of the situation was good, and hopefully, like, yeah, this is the biggest hack in history and everything, and they have been bridging to other. They're trying to bridge to Sol to sell, and I'm sure that's why Sol is crashing. Not only because Sol is hot garbage right now, but um, also if they find ways of halting their selling or just freezing accounts, at least we'll have some ETH and other assets that are locked forever. So that's probably one positive that we can take out of this, is that in a way this could become deflationary if they manage it properly on the back end. So we'll see. I mean, yeah, the hack really sucks. It's like FTX levels of damage if it really does, like if they do start selling heavily and everything. So hopefully it doesn't get to that. And I know a lot of teams are working around the clock to try to mitigate them selling. So we'll see. I hope it goes the right way. It's just really unfortunate for everybody, but at least Bybit did the right thing. It didn't cause a huge bank run, which would have made this whole situation much worse. They did get
Mhm.
bank run initially, but like just the way they handled it just made everything so much easier. And they said everybody that they told everybody their funds are safe and that they're being processed if they want to withdraw. So yeah, I mean, from top to bottom, just excellent work by Bybit, and they worked really really fast to get those funds back and into people's hands because they are backed 1 to 1, not like FTX was. So yeah, I mean that's a good thing. At least that really sets us on the right path to recovery and not a bigger crash.
Agreed. Yeah. I thought it seemed like they handled it pretty as well as you can handle the biggest hack in history.
Yeah, dude.
Um, yeah, I mean, no one really had. I don't think they might have temporarily paused withdrawals at some point, but I haven't really seen anything about people not being able to get their money. It seems like everyone has been able to. So that's really good. At least it seems like they are getting enough collateral to back all the assets that they own, and make sure users are whole and don't lose out here. So that's really good, if they can, you know, control that contagion a bit. Um, I'd say just in general, like kind of my outlook right now is it's again, it's just so choppy, and like alts have just been down only for like the last month. It's just in general, I'm kind of waiting, and this was a big spot that the Don was talking about. Is like really over 100K. If we're able to close there, then that would be for me the switch to flip back to being risked on. But in the meantime, um, I'm probably going to look at a lot of different farms, playing pretty defensively. Taking quick profit, no type of home run swings. If I'm doing any type of occasional shit coining, I'm not hoping for some crazy, 10, 20, 30x or whatever. Really, just kind of like a 2x and leave situation, and largely like focus on these different farming opportunities, which in my opinion, it's like a good time to do it because activity is much lower right now than even just what it was like a few weeks ago or a month ago. And that just means less competition on different types of farms. And if you do believe that we do bounce back at some point and activity comes back, then it'll pay dividends to be, part of the few in these like farms earning XP or points or whatever it is, um, towards those different airdrops that ideally hopefully come when the market turns into a better spot. So I know we'll get into that too, but that's kind of what my mindset is right now. I would love to hear other people's opinions too on kind of like mindset going forward, macro stuff.
I guess you in here. Are you free to talk, or are you busy? It's all right either way. I just tagged you in because I know usually you have some good things to say about the macro situation. He's probably busy. It's all good. And if anybody else has input, oh, there he is. What's up, Shaggy? I saw you unmute, Shaggy, but I'm not hearing anything. I'm not sure if you're trying to talk or.
All right,
Yeah,
maybe some
still
technical
nothing.
difficulties.
Yeah, probably some. Yeah. Castor is asking abstract ethos. What are their farms? Assuming you'll get into specifics later. Yeah, we're gonna talk about a few, but I think Cairo has a second season. That they're working on. I feel like such an idiot for missing that. Like real dumb. Like all I had to do was tweet, and I didn't take it seriously enough, and didn't even care about it. Honestly, I just screwed up there. I would have made thousands and thousands of dollars, and I just skipped it. So I'm gonna try to see if they have anything. I think they do
Um,
have a second season going on. Yeah, what's up, Jake?
yeah, I say that's pretty good. I mean, it's like a no cost farm, right? Just takes
Yeah,
time and ability to get engagement. I'm sure it's going to be a lot more competitive this
for
round as
sure.
it always is when the first one cooks. So
Yeah.
probably would definitely lower expectations by quite a bit for that. But if it's like a no cost thing, then it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, completely dumb on my end. I was inner circle and everything, and I thought it was deeper than that. I thought you needed to have a good following, or else you weren't gonna cook, and that was just dumb of me. I should have at least tried because apparently anybody with inner circle that was just replying to people was making bank, and I didn't even take
Yeah.
it. I didn't even do that. What an idiot! You know what I mean? It's just on me, really. Anyway, whatever. We'll try to get in for the second season. I know I'm gonna make much less than I would have on the first, but like, there's nothing else going on now, so it's really time just to be farming stuff and to, you know, not be lazy. Really, this is what we've seen every time it gets kind of like on a downturn. The people that are active make money, so you just got to be careful, pick your spots. And like Ethos is a good farm. I'm seeing a lot bigger names get into that, and I know it's very exclusive right now, or somewhat exclusive. So that's one that you should concentrate on if you can. Who knows what happens on airdrop, but so far everything I've seen from that team has been really on point. I like what they're doing, and they're taking their time to do it right. Um, yeah, abstract I guess speaks for itself. There's been some FUD around it, but I mean it's backed by a big team. Hopefully the FUD helps people not farm it, and it gives you a chance to farm it a little harder. Um, and yeah, Kaido and OCH too. I see a lot of people farming those OC on-chain heroes, but I think that one, if you weren't already involved, is gonna you're playing catch up, and I wouldn't really run after it. That's me personally. I don't know if you have another take, Jake, but those people that are in it already can cook really hard. I mean, the assets are are starting to climb in value, and I think it's some sort of a Wolf game clone or some sort of Wolf game type game. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you're already in, I think you're gonna print with that one.
Yeah, I have those on my list too. I agree.
Yeah,
I haven't looked in too much on Chain Heroes to like form a really opinion on it. It seems like a good game, but it also has run up a bunch, like you said, and I think it's kind of like a Ponzi type thing.
yeah,
So it could go sideways a bit. People are also farming, obviously abstract by doing on-chain hero stuff. I think another option there is the Gigaverse, which you could potentially farm a couple airdrops in one on that one. Obviously, been talking about this for a very long time, but Pirate Nation Pop, which is proof of play, um, they've been teasing quite a bit about their upcoming token airdrop. I don't know exactly when that's going to be, because it's been a long time coming so far. So they might just wait for better market conditions. But in my opinion, that's still one that could do pretty well. They're expanding a bit now. Here's one from Diff, who's their head of marketing or something like that. Let's see, of private, yeah, head of business development for Pirate Nation, and he also is the founder of the Gigaverse or GLHF, same ecosystem. And basically, Proof of Play is powering like several different games now that they bridged out, which is they're basically like marketing themselves as AWS for crypto and blockchain games, not just gaming, but to power other crypto solutions too. So the fact that they're casting a wider net than just blockchain gaming seems pretty bullish to me, and that they've started to get adoption outside of just Pirate Nation is good to see so far too. But yeah, I'm still a fan of that. I think you can certainly do that via staking the pirate token itself. You earn proof of play points, so that's one way of doing it. However, the multiplier for that is like has diminished over time since when they originally started staking, so it might not be as worth it. Um, in my opinion, this is a higher risk play, but if you own the Pirate Nation NFT itself, there's speculation that they would get some type of like flat allo of proof of play. Um, but that's not. I don't think that's confirmed. At least I have not seen it confirmed yet. When I play for like the one for one money play, it at this point in time, I think it makes more sense to have the Pirate Nation NFT uh, versus staking that equal USD amount of pirate
yeah. That
for the
makes
proof of
sense.
play. But it's higher risk because there's not a guarantee that there's a allo there. I'm just assuming it is because they've said many times that the Pirate Nation NFT is like they're the backbone of like Genesis NFT of their entire proof of play ecosystem.
Yeah, even Saigar on that tweet you shared, he says you guys are powering most of our games, and he's obviously the dev for Abstract. So he's like, Death responded, we want to work with the best games, and they all happen to be on Abstract. And yeah, obviously they're kind of playing off each other there, but it's nice to see that. We know it's cross chain like he's been saying for a while now, but it's nice to see that you know it's catching a lot of traction. That's going to be good for anybody farming this coin. Let's see how it goes. I hope us Pirate Nation guys get taken care of.
Ass says they have confirmed without officially confirming a flat allo for Founders Pirates.
Nice. I
Um,
love that.
but yeah, Gigaverse. Sorry, I went on a tangent, but I wanted to mention that too. A
Yeah, that's good.
Gigaverse on Abstract is also powered by Proof of Play. So,
Yep.
and the founder works for Proof of Play. So there might be a decent chance that Gigaverse gets some type of allo for Proof of Play, um, as well as the Abstract allo too. So that one's I think it's a pretty low cost entry for the Gigaverse game. I'm not even sure what they are right now. Maybe like zero point 0.01
Point
or
oh
zero point
six
0.02.
or something. Yeah, the ROMs
I
you
don't
mean?
even.
0.05, 0.06 around there.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I haven't looked lately. I've been meaning to start up that one.
The
Yeah,
GLHF
so
is
that's
pretty,
abstract. And then
yeah.
on a similar note, Monad is now live for their testnet is live. Um, And the big thing that people are doing over there that I've seen so far is Fantasy Top. Um, that's not on Monad. I think they have a big. It seems like they have some kind of big tournament going. I think it's live right now. I'm not sure if it's too late. The Fantasy Top Bros
I feel like
would be
it's
able
too
to tell
late.
you.
Yeah, I
Yeah, it
missed
might be
it
too
too.
late.
I wanted to do it and I just didn't. I was busy all weekend, but I think they had over 200,000 subs to that first tournament, so it caught traction, man. They really really caught fire with that Monad stuff.
Yeah, so that's certainly one to watch. Monad's been promoting it like themselves on their own timeline, the Fantasy Top stuff. So it seems like that right now has been like the biggest hit application testnet. So obviously speculation that that might get you. I mean, probably wasn't anything crazy, but maybe a small Monad airdrop. Who knows? Um, and then also just doing other various testnet transactions and swaps could go towards it as well.
I think we're gonna see
That's
people. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's like a obviously like a no cost, low upside type play, but just something to note.
Yeah, obviously Fantasy Top's also a good farm, but it's more for people that are already involved also. And I think we're gonna see it go both ways, where now people that tried the Monad version for free, they're gonna want to play. They're gonna probably be like, "Oh, this was fun. I made, this is cool." Maybe it's gonna be good for their main game, where people are gonna come the other way too with it after they tried it a little bit and see how cool the game is and everything. So I think we're gonna see hopefully we see an inflow into the regular game too, and that'll take it forward because they have a lot of good plans. Like I don't know if you guys caught the AMA with them during our fantasy top talks last week, but they have a lot of good things coming, and it's going to be fun to see if they could put them all down. I think they could. They've done such a good job so far. Obviously, sometimes the app is a little clunky, but in general, they've done great work and taking strides forward. So I'm still very bullish on fantasy top. I play every week. Should be a good airdrop.
Yeah, it seems like have stayed really strong and have a core user base. The fact they haven't gone away yet is pretty bullish, I'd say.
It's fed my little rainmakers addiction a little bit now that we don't have rainmakers a little bit, not as much, like maybe 10% of it, but still it's still good, you know.
Yeah, and I obviously got to shout out Silva and Ezra, who host our Fantasy Top show, Fantasy Top Down every Thursday.
My favorite show of the
You'll,
week, man.
you'll
I
learn
love
more.
it. Yeah, I enjoy it. They do a great job. I love tuning in every week. If I ever miss it, I feel really bad, but they had 710, which is one of the community managers for, and does much more than that, but he's one of the CMs for Fantasy Top. They had him on this week, and they had on
Oh yeah,
um
he's great.
yeah, one of the devs that works on an app too. I forget his name, but he's really cool too. They played well off each other, and it was fun to have all that information. And again, it just has so many viewers every week, that show, so they do a really good job. I love it.
Love it. Yeah. Um,
Well, on that note, GM boys.
What's up, Silva? What
cheers,
can you tell
Silva.
us, boy?
Yeah, great stuff. Loving the conversation so far. I did just want to plug, since you guys were talking about it, the Monad version of Fantasy Top. It is, like you guys said, free. So literally there is no downside to just going on there. If you create an account, it's basically a separate account, even if you already made one on the regular Fantasy Top site. So you get 15 cards for free, just to like kind of start your deck building. And you can do that. And even if you only get those 15 cards, I would highly, highly recommend just opening an account or 3 or 10, cough, cough, and just seeing how you do, because the biggest sets of prizes they have right now are whitelists for projects that will launch on Monad mainnet. So they have over 5,000 whitelists to give out across like 15 to 20 different projects. So, I mean, it costs nothing but 5 to 10 minutes of your time to set up an account, make a lineup each week, and you might win some super valuable whitelists in a couple of weeks or months.
Silva, since you do such good work for us, we don't usually do this, but can you please drop your referral in VC so I could join? I haven't joined yet, and I want to give you a little bit of a boost here since you do such good work for us.
Oh, baby. Yeah, I will get that for you right here, Jinzo. Appreciate
Thank
that,
you.
big dog.
The least we can do, man. You do such good work, you and Ezrin. You guys crush it.
Thank you, thank you. I just sit here. Ezra does all the hard work. Seriously.
You guys are too funny. You really learned like from the beginning. I think you had really good chemistry, but with time you've grown, and it's been nice to see how well you guys flow.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah. You just, you sit around in MVHQ listening to these shows all day from you guys, interviews and AMAs from THC, Ross, even, Ryan H. And we've had years and years of listening and experience to draw from. So just taking a cue from you guys doing such an awesome job.
Thank you, bro.
Appreciated, Silva. Thank you for hopping in, man. No, I need to get on the fancy top stuff. That's cool. I didn't know about the whitelists for Monad projects. That's actually a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it's gonna be big. They really are pushing. It's gonna be whitelists, and even if there's tokens and stuff, they're gonna have allo. They're gonna be they're pushing that a lot, and that's one of the things I had said early on. I'm like, fantasy top's gonna be limited unless they find a way to bring in tokens as rewards or whitelists. I mean, if they do that, they're gonna be huge. I remember saying that really early on, and they ran with it. I didn't tell anybody that. They must have had the same ideas, or people from in here probably gave them those ideas, but like it was the smartest thing it could have done because it keeps them relevant for a long time, right? So it's been fun. Like they even got allocation to Mega ETH and other big projects. So it's been nice to see. Like everybody wants to work with them. It's just it's like an evolved version of a questing platform in a way where you actually have to participate. So it's cool.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that sentiment, Jinzo. I think 710, like you shouted out yourself, he's done an incredible job, basically single-handedly of bringing all these different rewards, that are not that are not fantasy related at all, back into the hands of fantasy top players. Like you said, Mega ETH, Fluffle's whitelist, all these different monad activations. They've had the Steady Teddy's whitelist, so they've reached out to a ton of other ecosystems, projects, blockchains, and really for being a one-man wrecking crew, 710 is just he crushes it. So
Yeah.
excited that this is still we're still really in the first month or two of them kind of doing this outreach and building and layering in these other rewards from outside ecosystems, and just excited to see where that can go in the next few months as he kind of builds and layers on top of that. Like, I mean, even this monad one is so big. Like they're on the monad like front page. It's like the 4 steps if you want to get started on monad. Get some tokens from the faucet, set up the chain in your wallet, go enter a deck on Fantasy Top. Like it's like Fantasy Top is being built into like how they're advertising monad. So I think there's going to be some even bigger stuff that comes in the future, which is super exciting.
Yeah, 710 was a great fit for them. I'm glad they chose him and brought him on because he's so approachable and easy to talk to where, you know what I mean, it's gonna work good for both sides where he's able to bring in good projects, but also, Fantasy Top kind of gets to spread their word too. So really good fit for them, I think.
Totally agreed, man.
Yeah. Thanks for coming up. So, anybody else have any farms that they're working on? Would be the right time to kind of push them a little bit here and give us some insight.
I have a few more on my list.
Let's run
um,
through them, bro.
yeah, of course. I mean, I gotta mention Ethos. Mention it like I've mentioned it, like every single show, but I think it's honestly like a really good farm right now. Um, Mainly because their product actually like solves a use case or like a problem in crypto. So I think they have a lot of potential in various areas. Just it's like a reputation score, and you can farm it for free too, right? Or um, you can basically like lock up ETH to vouch on the reputation of other people that you trust. And that kind of like obviously gives you some type of boost as well to the farming. I wanted to shout out Seth. He did a corruption. He did a quick little overview on Ethos and how to get started with it. I just posted the field report in voice hangout chat if you want to learn more here. But in my opinion, it's something that can be used for a lot of different things, not just as like a review, but it can be used largely by like a ton of really big projects to filter out bots, to filter good actors in the space, to use for like allow lists, in my opinion, there's like quite a few use cases that are pretty important for this. And right now, it's like certainly not an easy it's certainly not like an easy problem to solve. As like obviously it can be there's like different ways that people are gonna try to game it as much as possible to like fake scores. But I think the way that they're going about it, if you dive in a little bit more in terms of allowing people obviously like negative reviews and like slashing back people who are manipulating how it works, and all those different sorts of things. I think right now, in the fact that they're kind of slow rolling how they release the usership, so they're not letting in a swarm of bots right away. It's people that they trust, and then like giving invites to those people and there's a heavy incentive to invite people who are obviously real and like who are going to be active and who are going to have a good reputation, because it affects your own reputation based on who you invite. So um, yeah, I just think it's a really good product and has a lot of potential, even though it is going to be harder to pull off. And it's early days and it's free to do. Slash, you could lock up some ETH if you wanted to boost it. So got to shout out Ethos. Shaggy pointing out DM me if you want an Ethos invite. So hit up Shaggy if you need one. Also, I have one as well. I was gonna shout out. If first one to DM me, I'll hand you an invite as well. They just gave out a round of invites to everyone who's been active in the last few days. Seems like they're trying to ramp up their user base so far.
Yeah, they're doing it at the right time too. I feel like all the sharps are starting to talk about it and be in and involved. Like you look through the leaderboard and it's all the people you'd want to see in one of these. So it's nice. I think they've done a really good job of slowly ramping and making sure that people understand the product and how good it could be for this space. And maybe now they're trying to take advantage of all this garbage we've been seeing too, where a lot of scams are coming out and they want people to downvote them and get involved. Like it's the right time to be ramping up. So it's been nice to see how slow they've taken it, and they're not being like greedy about it. Really, he just wants to build a good product, right? And reward the users that are legit and try to make a difference. So it's been really good. It's been fun to work with Serp, and it's been fun to see him evolve this product. I mean, he's done something that people have a very hard time doing these days, and that's finding an actual good product that's niche and that will make a difference in the space. So man, my goes off to him, and I hope he continues. Been nice to see. I'm gonna get involved. I'm doing it this week. If anybody's in our little thread there, get involved, and we'll be trading some vouchers, and you can do a lot of the upvoting for free too. So I think it's reviews that you can do for free. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing that all day today, just going back and reviewing people and vouching for people. So if you want to trade, hit me up.
Yeah, same. I got a lot to get to today as well. But I also think it's like a it's uniquely really good like farm slash product for MVHQ members in general, just because there are so many upstanding people and we know so much of each other for quite a long time that it's very easy to like give each other reviews and vouches and like feel good about you know their reputation score going up and helping our own reputation score. And it's a nice little flywheel for our community where we do trust and know so many of us have actually a good reputation and morals and ethics. So um, yeah, I think it's a real good one.
Also, a good way of getting our names and our like all of us like get up there. Like we're still early to this thing, so if we're up on the leaderboard, people are gonna take notice of you, right? So it means more followers. It's like you said, a flywheel. It's gonna just be good for the brand. It's gonna be good for you guys. It's everybody's gonna grow together with these vouchers. So it's fun. I think if you're early to this, you can do well. And I feel like we're still pretty early here. I feel like this is gonna take a
Yeah.
while.
Oh, it definitely is. Yeah, there was only 500 users. I think when they just gave out the recent invites of like one invite to everyone who was active in the last 3 days. I think that was just like 2 or 3 days ago that he did that. So there's probably like 700, 800 users right now, less than 1,000, I would think.
I'm laughing my ass off. I gotta call this vouch out that Cap gave me that I just noticed. Overpays for lettuce, but otherwise legit. Thanks, bro. I'll get back to you after this show. I'll get back to you on that one. Shaggy, you too. Thank you, bro.
Um, Yeah, if anyone needs one, I have an extra invite too. If anyone needs one. Yeah, what else? I haven't checked this out, but there was another field report on Mantis that I think is from Gladiator. Yeah, from Gladiator. He posted, I think it was a couple weeks ago. I'm not sure if it's still live yet. I haven't been able to dig in myself, so just wanted to point that out for potential farm. It looks like some AI prompt that you can use to trade with. Also, Time.fun actually just launched. Like when we started the show today. If you guys aren't familiar, that's formerly Circle Tech, which I know a lot of MVHQ people farmed and were like top of the leaderboard of, and they kind of just revamped and like went to this different product. And this one seems to be getting a lot more attention. Like Jesse from Base has replied to it, and it seems like they have a much bigger backing now than what the Circle Tech product had. So it could have a decent chance at success. I know they had said previously that people who farmed the Circle Tech airdrop are going to have like a set amount set aside for the token allocation for this new product. So I mean that's good if you did farm that. But obviously, maybe you can get more of a bonus, and maybe I haven't looked into the details again because they literally just announced the tweet and how it works as we started the show today. But I know the Circle Tech was relatively easy farm and pretty low cost. It was like just kind of like microtransaction of fees. So maybe this one is similar. I don't know if anyone's taken a look at this yet.
It looks like even Solana's main account a minute ago just responded to that tweet, so they're catching traction. And we had an AMA with the guy. I don't know if you remember. If I remember correctly, this was the high energy guy that we had in here, and he was rolling with everything. Like it was a really good AMA that we had. I think we're gonna have to dig it up and post it again. I don't know how much he knew back then about this new Time.fun, but I think he was talking about the pivot back then when we brought him on. So would be a good AMA to listen back onto, even though it was a while ago. But yeah, it's we'll see. I mean, a lot of us did do Circle Tech, and we thought we were dead in the water when it pivoted. Well, not when it pivoted, but when Friend Tech died, we thought we were screwed with Circle Tech. Hopefully now those people get rewarded. Those that gave this some time. That's all I got on farms, man. We talked a lot about a lot of different farms. There's things to do. I mean, if you're not lazy, you have a lot to do in this space still. Do you want to get into shitcoins, or do you have another farm to talk about? You there, Jake? Can you hear me? Am I bugging out? Oh, it's you, Jake. Okay, I thought I was going out for a sec. What is that, Max? Let's see. Oh, Solana? That's actual Sol at 154? It's backwards. I just noticed. I'm like, what's this guy doing? Yeah, what's up, Jake?
There we go.
Uh,
Yeah, sorry, my mic came out there for a second, but
you're
I just
good.
want
You
to
need to flip out.
reiterate the fact that like when this is like a slow time in the market for everything else, and there's just less users in general, people like interacting with crypto. If you do show up every day and like do these low cost slash free farming opportunities, I think it's a really good time for that because there's just less people interacting with these products, so it's less competition for allocation once they do finally drop them in the future. Obviously, there's plenty of unknowns of what the reward is going to be, but if you lock into some products that you believe in and you think are actually good and have like a chance to succeed over the long run, then I think you can be rewarded uh, in a pretty good, risk return way.
Agreed. Yeah, that's my main focus now. It's like even if like we're gonna talk about shitcoins now too, but even if you do concentrate just on shitcoins, and there are opportunities, I've been seeing like some coins do good numbers without much competition because it feels like a lot of even these guys that were farming their following are not trading as much. So it's been giving us opportunity to make good returns if you're careful. Like the better traders will make money right now. I've been seeing some really good moves, but I'd say we're back to what we were a few months ago, where things will pump to a couple of mil and come back down. The one-off coin will pump up to the 10 or 15 mil and trend around there for a while and come back down. So there's opportunity to get in early on a lot of coins and make good flips. But like you said earlier, Jake, it's 2 3 X's and out. Like really you got to be careful. So I feel like if people did want to get into shitcoins, it might be also a good time right now. But like because it's less noisy, right? Sure, you get less multipliers, but you'll get to learn with very little amounts again. Not like kind of like it was a year ago when we were trading in the bears. So I like it personally. I think I'm gonna keep an eye on shitcoins. I'm still making money on shitcoins, but again, Solana's dumping. So everything I've been making on flips, I'm just seeing my Solana burn to ash. So it's been kind of like a time where I'm just building my soul bag, and if it climbs one day, it'll climb, and I'll be okay. But yeah, it's been one of the it's been kind of a nasty time in shit coins, but a time where you can make money if you're careful. So, but I did want to shout out one thing. I wasn't sure if I wanted to talk about this on this chat today, but I will because a lot of you missed it. We had one guy basically off himself on Twitter live this weekend. I don't know if you guys caught that. He basically put a gun to his head, and you could guess what happened next. All because he lost $500 on shit coins. And the reason I bring it up is because I'm sure a lot of people feel like crap out there, and I think in this group people are pretty level headed and they wouldn't do something stupid like that. But I really hope that if you ever did think of that, you'd message me first so I could talk about it and not do something dumb like that. So yeah, it's a real issue when it comes to shit coins and to trading in general. People go they do dumb things and like they think it's all over and they do something stupid like that. But please, man, just my door is open. If you guys ever feel bad or you took a big loss or whatever, like I've been there too, and I'm here to talk like if you need it. So please don't do something stupid like that. It's not worth it. Like the kid left behind a daughter and like a 1 year old daughter and his girlfriend and everything for one quick live video because he lost $500. It's just completely dumb. Like obviously the guy could have been going through much more than that, but it's not worth it. Don't do that to yourself. I don't know even if you caught that, Jake. Did you see that this weekend? Did you catch a wind of that?
I saw like a tweet or two about it. I wasn't sure if it was real or what,
It
but
was real. It was real. I made sure to go frame by frame on that thing when it like, 'cause obviously that doesn't bother me too much. I've seen worse in life, but I wanted to make sure it wasn't just a hoax because everybody was talking about it, and I wanted to make sure, and it was completely real. The guy, he's done. The guy, you know what I mean? It's sad.
yeah, really really good message, Jinzo, to bring up. I appreciate you saying that for sure. Like I know it's definitely been a difficult time. I think like if you're feeling down in the dumps about how like your portfolio and things doing, like I mean you're definitely not alone. Like I've certainly like not been trading well at all over the last like month or so, really since like the Melania stuff. Like everything's kind of been in the shitter. It's been a really tough market. I mean, just in general, like it hasn't been anything close to like the last bull market. So I think that's a really good point to bring up. You're not alone, and like money certainly isn't everything in life. So if you are thinking those kind of thoughts, just know we are here to support you too as well, and here to help and here to talk. So you guys can always reach out to as Jinzo said himself or me or really anyone on staff or people in the community that you trust.
Yeah, like a lot of people, they look and they think others are making so much money in this market, but I guarantee you, not even 1% of people are actually keeping those gains and making money. It's very hard. Like this is the hardest cycle I've ever seen, and a lot of people are hoping it gets better, but I want you to understand that even people that are making big gains are probably losing it right after. So like you're not alone. It's just been a disaster. So really the name of the game is survival and just keeping your level head and doing things that you could control and not getting too far outside of your comfort zone right now, other than like basically for farms and stuff that are not going to cost you much. So it's really wealth preservation and at the same time health preservation, because you don't want to be going crazy over this shit. We're here to make money and to have a good time, not to feel like horrible about it, right? So yeah, just that's it. That's my message basically. If you ever feel like crap about it, just DM me, bro. Don't do something stupid. But yeah, now that we're done with that, let's talk about a racist. Fucking Yeezy, bro. He wants to drop his token. At first, it looked like it was gonna be a completely bad racist like token, like about swastikas and racism, but it looks like in the end, it's gonna be more of a token for his platform and for people that have bought stuff on his store. It's gonna be called Yeezy, YZY. People have already dug up the contract address, so obviously it's gonna get sniped to shit. People are probably gonna be paying 50 soul or more to even get in on the first couple blocks. It's going to be a real shit show. So um, I'd say keep an eye on it. I think it could have a lot of success even if you get in early, because they're going to have 70% of their supply locked up for the Easy team. Um, so there's still going to be opportunity, and a lot of people are saying they're not going to trade it. They definitely will. I mean, it's going to be like all the other times that people are trying to tell you not to trade something and it ends up doing well. There's going to be a supply crunch, and I think it's going to run pretty hard. So if you're in early, you might make money, but make sure you don't get caught buying tops. If you're seeing it at 3, 4, 5 billion, it's probably too late. I'd say. It's not. It's gonna like it might go higher, but I mean, what are you looking at? A 2x from there, if at all. I mean, it really depends. Like the market's a bit of in the shitter, but that might also be because people are holding off, waiting for a token like this, waiting for Doodle to be dropped, or waiting for Kanye to come out. I mean, I think a lot of people are not completely sidelined. They're sidelined on purpose because they're waiting for the next big thing, and this might be it. So, yeah, just I mean, if you want to trade it, it's up to you. Obviously, morally, a lot of people might want to stay out, and I completely understand that. But for those of you that are looking to trade it, make sure you get in early or don't get in at all, or try to pick a spot on a dip or something, because we don't know how this is gonna go really. Yeah, exactly. Cap saying just ignore it completely. That's honestly what I would tell most people is ignore it completely. If you don't like what he's up to and what he's about, and if you don't think you're gonna have success trading it, absolutely ignore it. I was gonna ignore it if it was gonna have any type of racial connotation, but now that it's just a platform token, I'm looking at it more seriously. It doesn't mean I'm gonna trade it yet. I'm still not fully on board with it, but I'm like, yeah, I'm looking at it. So just so we can talk through a few of the details I already know about this token that I heard on some reputable no, but reputable people saying it's going to be a stealth launch this week. They were supposed to drop it Thursday, but then the Bybit hack happened, and it was going to be a stealth launch on Thursday, kind of like Trump. Obviously, the insiders would have went nuts over it, or the people that have like scrapers for his Twitter would have probably like botted the shit out of it and got in way before any of us even knew it was around. But the way they're planning on doing it now, since they had to delay it, is they're gonna drop it sometime this week. It could be today, it could be tomorrow, who knows? And yeah, and basically stealth launch it. So keep an eye on for it. We have the contract address. If you want it, you can just check. I could drop it in shitcoin chat in a little bit, or just search for it in VHQ. You'll find it pretty easily. But yeah, that's just to give you a little bit of info on how it's gonna drop. It's basically just gonna be a stealth drop. They're gonna add liquidity to the liquidity pools that are already set up, and obviously they're partnering with Meteora to do all this, and it'll go from there. There was a lot of speculation that Bark Meta was behind it. I think they had hired him to do a lot of the PR, and when the Yay team noticed that he was like just bad for the space and everybody hated him, they got rid of him real fast. So yeah, he's not involved at all with this project right now, and it's actually some guy Olaf, a billionaire that has Polychain, that owns the Polychain, big investment firm and stuff. He's the one taking care of this drop, and from what I've heard, he's good, and he's good people. As in, he's not obviously everybody's in this to make money, but it seems like he's not just a max extract type of guy. He's already a billionaire, and he wants to do it the right way. A lot of this information is things I got from back channels. It's not anywhere out there. Like you won't see much even on this guy Olaf. I'm just giving you information that I heard through the grapevine and people that are kind of on the inside but not really. So yeah, take it with a grain of salt. But at the same time, I think it's still good information to have going into this coin coming out here.
Yeah, this is good. I hadn't heard a lot of that. I've been following it very closely. Last I heard was that Bark Media like had his Twitter account and was using it and shit.
Yeah, that was all. I feel like he was because the way I understood it from people that were on the inside with Bark Media and aren't like they're not friends anymore. Like the guy Books, I hated this guy. We were following each other for a while, but he came on stages yesterday and he kind of broke it down on how he sees that it worked because he knows people. Like there was a couple of people on the Mario Now Fall stage that are really close to the Yay drop, and they kind of explained how it went down and how we're all wrong about what we thought about the Bark Media stuff and how everybody thought he bought the access for 17 mil, but that's not how it happened. I think whoever controls the coin itself, which is Olaf, gave upfront guaranteed money to Ye, so you can at least have 20 million, 17 million after fees and whatever agencies and whatever fees. And then he'll get obviously a cut of the token itself. And Bark was brought on to do the media since he's so well known. He was brought on to basically promote it and to make this thing run up. But then it backfired. They just realized that this guy is just hated by everybody in the space, and that now it's giving a bad taste to the coin. So they just completely dropped him and went another way with the PR group. So he had control of the Yay account. But he didn't pay for it. It was just given to him because he was doing the PR, and apparently now they pivoted from him. Now, did they really pivot, or is that just a front to make people think that it's not him anymore? I don't know. That's up to you to decide. But it does look like they're trying to get away from the whole Bark thing. Just a bit of context, because a lot of people weren't here on the weekend. They probably didn't hear how this went down, or so I've just been listening and trying to like make my own ideas about it. And yeah, obviously, like Cap said, best thing is just to ignore it completely. It's been a shit show already. But for those that know what they're doing, I think there is money to be made. So again, if you want to participate and you're in early, you might still make a good flip. NFA, obviously, do your own research and make your own decisions. We're also waiting for the Doodles drop, and I think it's been overshadowed by all this. I don't like we had seen the details. There's the contract address already out there. I saw people even like taking like there's a contract address out there that people speculate is Doodles. It's partnered also with Meteor, I'm pretty sure, and the only thing they're waiting for is to add liquidity. So I feel that's going to be another stealth drop we see this week. I don't know why they would have created the contract already if they weren't looking to launch this week. That's another one to keep a close eye on. And yeah, that one could cook too. But again, if it's full unlocks for participants and for holders, then it's probably going to be like anime or like any other coin we've seen, like Pengu, where it's just down only. So be careful. Don't catch any fallen lives. Just know that it's coming very soon. That is all I got. That's my rant.
Yeah, only thing I'm interested with the doodles is shorting it on Hyperliquid.
Yeah, bro. I wish. Is it available on Hyperliquid?
I don't
Gotta
think it
be.
is right now, but
Yes.
they usually have been good at listening over the first few hours.
Yeah. Oh, wait. There's one more actually that some of you might have participated in. The Pi Network token finally launched. Okay, but people farmed this. I don't know if you remember that app on your phone. I
Yeah,
don't know. Did you do it, Jake? I didn't do it. It
I
was.
did
It
it
was
a long time ago. I definitely don't know what my account is anymore, but
Oh,
I
dude,
didn't
if,
do it very
if you
much.
find it, you might have a bit of money on there. I mean, obviously, a lot of the early adopters got unlocks real fast. The token's actually at $1.50, which is like way too high. I mean, there's 100 billion supply eventually, and $1.50 just doesn't make any sense. But only about one quarter of the circulating supply is even unlocked, so 1.6 billion. And I think that's what's causing the squeeze here. Most people are getting unlocked later on, like May, June, and by then I think it's gonna be like at 5 cents. So if you are one of the early adopters and you like just check your phone, maybe you got your unlocks already and you're able to sell. I mean, it's a good time to sell. It's at $1 something, so you're never gonna get see this price again, I don't think. So yeah, just check your phones. I never did it. It was too normy for me. It felt like everybody that was talking about XRP last cycle was talking about Pi, so I just ignored it. Everybody was trying to like all the normies were trying to send me the referrals, and I just wasn't having it, bro. So I didn't do it. But yeah, if you did, it might be a good time to check.
Wow, 15 fully diluted valuation is 15 billion.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's not the numbers don't make it, like I was looking for their chain. I actually posted in shitcoins yesterday, but they have almost 7 billion of tokens sent out to participants, like, and they're all locked. Like there's only like 1 billion or 1.5 billion that is unlocked for trading. So those must be
Okay.
the early adopters. So really, it's all a big The numbers don't make sense right now. Don't even look at the dollar value. The full amount that they're gonna have, and I'm sure that's gonna take years and years, but the full amount of Pi Network tokens that will be available, I guess, after other farms is gonna be 100 billion. Their FDV is insane. Like it would be like for whatever is not created yet, obviously, but for circulating supply, it's already huge. But just with their FDV it doesn't make any sense. The numbers don't make any sense. So be careful with that. I would love to short that coin, man. I know people are getting unlocked starting in 14 days from now for some people, so I would have shorted the shit out of it, but I can't find one place that services Canada. I know some sexes have it, and not a single place I can have access to that has it. So I was looking through Hyperliquid. That would have been a good one for me.
Yeah, maybe they'll add it.
Hopefully, it's one I'm watching very carefully because in a few weeks from now, it's just gonna be a straight down. Oh, Kaito's up on the day at 187. Keep stabbing me and turning the knife inside me. That's what's happening here every time I see this. Radium's down. That's another thing we should have mentioned too today is Pump Fun decided to make their own AMM, and they basically destroyed Radium because Radium was catching all of the migrated contracts, right? Well, now I think Pump Fun is going to be doing that themselves, and Radium took a huge hit. Man, whoever was shorting Radium, good for you. You made money. But yeah, they took a big hit. They're down only now. And Pump Fun obviously found another way of making even more money. So hey, max extraction continues.
That's all I had on my list at the hour mark. We covered a lot more than I expected today.
Me too, bro. I thought yeah. I will shout out. You did a good job of shouting out a couple of the field reports, but Gladiator has one for farming since we were talking about farming. Mantis trade and strategize with AI prompts and also farm airdrops. Uh, what the hell was that noise? Anyway, AVAX pre-sales and airdrops by Metarova, and yeah, corruption. You already talked about his ethos drop, and Aslo has a lens on distressed assets, a special report, his favorite topic, and he goes in on a lot of different assets and asset classes, so that's a good one too. Chelsea has one on Morpheus, decentralized AI network. So yeah, man, a lot of things to do here. Even when we're kind of on what seems like a slow period in crypto, this is when you have to go through these and start looking for new areas. So I'd definitely take a look at these field reports and try to find opportunities. I mean, in the past, there's been some really good field reports that if we would have taken more seriously, we would have made a lot of money with. And these might lead to something good, so might as well dig into them if you have nothing to do.
Sir, great shouts. Anyone have anything else they wanted to chat through that we missed out on? Cool.
Well,
Happy Monday, fellas. Great show.
Poop, thank you, bro. Nice to hear you, man.
Yes, sir. Great show. Great show. It's just a weird market right now, so we'll take it as it comes. I think you guys made some great points today.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what we specialize in here, right? It's always trying to find new angles and trying to stay even keeled. So yeah, we're gonna keep trying to find spots.
Yes, sir. Always.
Thank you, everybody. Jake, thank you so much, bro.
Yeah, thank you, man. Obviously, we can stay in VC and chop it up more, but as far as show goes, we can conclude it here. Appreciate you all coming out, participating. Hopefully, these farms reap some good rewards in the future.
Yes, sir. That's what I'll be doing today. I think I'm just gonna go through all the farms. Not gonna be lazy. Every time I decide to do something else, I'm just gonna slap myself, splash some water in my face, and be like, "Don't be an idiot. Don't miss out on thousands of dollars again." uh, it's unacceptable, really. Like I'm hard on myself, and I know I am. You guys know that too. I'm always hard on myself, and that one there was just unacceptable. Like bro. It's not my first cycle, man. I shouldn't still be doing the same mistakes of just avoiding something because I'm procrastinating or because I'm lazy or like having too much going on in your life is not an excuse. Like it was just a couple of replies. You know what I mean? Like anyway, I know people that did Kaito 2 days before the snapshot and made way more money than I ever, like, you know what I mean? Like they just took it seriously 2 days before and started replying to everybody, and you know what I mean, just running up those yaps, and they made really good returns. So it wasn't even something that would have taken that much time. It would have just been like a couple tweets a day. And that's going to be a lot of these farms too. Like Ethos, same thing. Like I'm looking through the people's vouchers and stuff. They have like 20, 30, 40 vouchers and they're at the top of the leaderboard. So how much time really is that? And how much, it's not that much time. Just trade with a few people in MVHQ and you'll be up on the leaderboard in no time. So yeah, it just takes getting up off your ass and doing it. I saw you up there, Jake. I think you're 33rd or something.
33rd for what?
Leaderboard on Ethos. You're up there. You're kind of high.
Oh yeah, I think I'm top 50. I need to do a lot of ouches and stuff to hopefully get me back up.
I like looking at the most credible list and seeing people I know all over it. It's nice to see JJ at 14. I have Cough Drop at number 9. It's cool. Resang is at 17. Dino at 18. It's all us, basically. I'm there. Rhea at 20. It's all us and Underground. And obviously, we have a lot of overlap with them, so it's always cool. I know when other you were at 32, Jake. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the sharps are on this. It's just going to be a matter of time before the rest also start taking it more seriously.
Yes, sir.
I'll be
But
back.
yeah, we can wrap it up here. I'm gonna bounce out here.
Sounds good. I'll be back in a couple minutes. I'll be in chat, but I just gotta go do something real quick, and I'll be back in like 5.
Okay. Thanks, y'all.